All right, in this episode, we talk about other velocity programs that are out there.
And how you're gonna see my kid on draft day.
All right, Brent Porcio, Stephen Godani here at the @Top Velocity #PitchingTips Show. Go to Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, @Top Velocity #PitchingTips. Ask your question.
Oh, and Snapchat.
And Snapchat. We're gonna answer the question on the show. If you want to come down here for a 3X Velocity camp and get on the show, that'd be fun. For the camp, we should do a show with some of the guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe the next day. Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Yeah, so you're coming down to the camps, might get you on the show. So, what's our question for today?
Luke Seminaire asks, if you were to send your child to any program other than your own, where would it be and why?
Okay, y'all are gonna hate me on this one. What I know about other programs is it's nothing like 3X pitching, nothing at all. That's all I know. And everyone that's been here says nothing like it. It's completely different. We have a very different approach. It's not conventional. So this is an approach that is not following pretty much everything you hear about out there about velocity improvements. So where would I send my kids? Probably nowhere. I mean, I don't know. What I know about every other approach doesn't really excite me because in my playing career, I tried all those approaches. Every one of these approaches have been around since I was playing, probably way before I was playing. I mean, we could just throw them out there, not naming any names, but like weighted balls, been around since the beginning of time. They were using them in the 70s. I think they were using them before that. Like I said, I've even tracked it to, it was World War I.
No, Civil War.
I was wrong. It was World War I.
World War I? Okay.
Civil
War sounded way cooler though.
Yeah, it was World War I. I've tracked it to World War I, weighted balls, because they used, hand grenades were big in World War I. And they needed someone to throw them, skilled guys to throw them. So they actually recruited baseball players and to throw the hand grenades. And then, well, the baseball players found that they threw harder when using those things. So they actually brought them back to the field. I heard this through some online source, could be completely wrong, but it makes sense, right? I mean, they were actually, it's true they're recruiting baseball players to throw hand grenades. I'm sure the baseball players were like, hey, let's use this. This works. Like, I feel I can throw harder. Let's use this in baseball. It's been around for a while. I use weighted balls. I used weighted balls back in the day. What else? Long toss. I mean, who doesn't long toss? One thing about the argument of long toss is everyone says, that, coaches make an issue about long toss, but just like my programs, you can go long toss on your own. But I mean, it's like, who hasn't long tossed? If we went into a group of baseball players, we said, raise your hand if you've never long tossed in your life, or raise your hand if you never long tossed for the reasons of improving arm strength. How many guys would raise their hand that have never done it? And if they did raise their hand, I'd be like, these guys haven't played a lot of baseball.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be raising my hand. No, I would not be raising my hand. But because I long toss, I did extreme long toss. I went out to the football field and see if I could throw it from from field goal to field goal. So, I did that. Really wasn't a key thing for me. Actually, I remember I was doing that a ton before I tore my rotator cuff. What else? Any other thing out there, I'm not big on even gimmicks, except I've brought the King of the Hill trainer in because it actually met a key principle that I believe in, which is ground reaction forces. And it is the only power trainer, drive trainer, that actually trains or allows you to get a feedback of some type of force production. So that would be the only thing I would take. So you know what? If I'm going to answer this question, I'm going to go to the King of the Hill. I'm going to say, yeah, I would use the King of the Hill program. I know Rich doesn't have a program. He uses my program. I think he has his own program. I don't think he's put it into something. So yeah, I'd send him to Rich at the King of the Hill. And I would suggest you do too. I think they're the only ones outside of what we're trying to do here that really get these principles of using the kinetic chain, building force to the ground. So, you know, and I'll be straight up and honest. I grew up learning from Tom House, Dick Mills. I agree and disagree with both of them, but they were influential in my career. Separation, I believe in, comes from House. Mills, I don't know if I really took anything from Dick Mills personally, but he helped me kind of search. He helped me. He was one of the founding fathers to what I do, so I have a lot of respect for him. But I don't think I really took anything from him. But he helped me open my eyes to looking for better things. I definitely get that, because I was getting his newsletter when I was in high school in the 90s. So, but that's about it. I mean, that's about it. I mean, everyone else out there, I've just heard about their programs, and I've heard they're very different. And what I've heard about them doesn't obviously interest me, because I'd probably find a way to want to really get more into it. I would, because I really believe that I do this to find the answers to performance enhancement, to taking someone who wasn't born to throw 95 and helping them develop that ability. And I really believe we're the best program for doing that. I know it sounds arrogant, but I really do believe, because the past 10 years outside of my own career, I've been developing this program, and you know, it literally was taken from my career because it worked for me post-surgery to go, doctors say I'd never play again after my rotator cuff tear in college, to get back on a mound, get back to where I was, but then even go far and beyond with this approach to low, mid-90s and play some professional baseball. I know I'm on the right track because it worked for me first. I think that's really what makes my programs unique. What other program out there comes from a pitcher's career, or comes from it first revamped, or it first, you know, elevated his career and then became a program? This is the only program out there that actually did that. And I think that's what makes it unique, and that's what makes me proud of it, is that it's legitimate, you know? So when people look out there and go, well, you know, this is your opinion, or this is you know, it's typically all your opinion, or this is a scam, right? This is just BS. You're just trying to sell programs. Of course I'm trying to sell programs. It allows me to do this every day. But no, it's not opinion. It's not a, I mean, there's shades of opinions, but it's mostly researched and applied and tested thoroughly and proven true, because that's how we get all our testimonials out there. And how many other programs out there have as many live testimonials of guys going 5 to 10 miles an hour more into the 90 mile an hour range? Not nearly as close out there. Okay, so I know I talked a lot about my program, but if I'm picking one, it's King of the Hill. I really believe they're the only ones outside of me that are on the right path. What do you want to add to that?
I saw a super funny meme on Instagram that this guy was like, I'm gonna leave my baby mama, because everybody knows that single mothers breed great athletes. And he was like, hashtag see you on draft day. And I was like, that's just terrible.
That is horrible.
But
how does that come into this?
just because he was like, what would you do with your kid? And I was,
that's what you do. You leave with your baby mama.
That's terrible. But I already have my plan already planned out. Like when he's young, I'd make him play as many different sports as he can, because I think that kids who play a bunch of different sports pick up on all these little different athletic traits, and by the time they start reaching high school, when they start kind of getting into what they want to do, whatever they pick, that's going to enable them to be the best athlete they can be at that time. And then once it's time to start getting into weightlifting, if I had to choose with any program, I would in the off season be like, all right, you're going to go train with Olympic weightlifters. And you're just going to do that the whole time, and then just build beast athleticism and be a boss and throw ched and hit bombs.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm not thinking pitching program, I'm doing the same thing. Steven's right on board. I've got girls. My girls are going to be Olympic lifters. I'm not going to push them into it. I mean, that's what I'm going to promote. They're going to see me coaching it, and if they want to do what I'm doing, I'm going to have them Olympic lifting. there's so much crap out there about Olympic lifting. I know the pros and cons, I get it. There's benefits, and then there is some things you can call negatives, but we work to avoid them. But if you are around Olympic athletes, Olympic training coaches, they are the best of the best of the best. No one comes close. And then when you get around baseball strength coaches, baseball coaches, it's laughable. It is laughable. And I know they're laughing at us, guys. We all sit in our little cliques here in baseball, and we talk about how we think it all works and how to get the best out of everyone. And when it comes to developing the athlete, we want to reinvent the wheel. We don't want to look outside, but they're looking at us. All these Olympic coaches, football strength coaches coming from Olympics are looking at us. And you know what they do? They laugh. They laugh. They're like, haha, look at baseball in the dark ages, reinventing the wheel with these crazy methods proven years and years ago to be ridiculous. And I think it's just so egotistical where baseball gets. So it's like, yes, I'm going to take my girls and get them out of baseball where it just puts them in this little tunnel vision to nowhere.
Your girls are playing baseball?
Maybe. I don't know. Whatever they want to play. Maybe. I like tennis, to tell you the truth. And I'm going to get them into Olympic lifting.
Ooh, tennis, that would help even with Olympic lifting.
Of course.
For your
it's
serves.
Going to help anything.
Yeah, you'd be a beast.
Yes, beast mode.
That's cool.
So, yeah, I would take Steven, definitely go that way. But if I'm staying within baseball, my answer was King of Hill. Mm-hmm. What if you had to stay in baseball? If I didn't exist.
Okay.
If I didn't
stay in baseball, like they're not playing like any other sports. They don't have any other options. They have to stay in baseball.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. What program would you use? Putting Steven on the spot.
That's tough.
Wrong answer. Yeah, he's my intern. So wrong answer, you're fired.
I would say the same answer as you. I would just do none of them because like you're
you
right.
Would do none of them. What would you do?
If
I'll be honest. I haven't objected with Kevin Schultz in here doing many other programs. Pretty much every other program out there he's done in here. And it was interesting, one of them hurt his arm. Mm-hmm. Not going to say who. But every single other pitch velocity program Kevin has done in Gorilla here, and I've watched him do it.
Yeah.
And he comes back every time.
What other of the other programs, like there's none that do what we do, and knowing what I know,
you don't want to do a weighted
I don't want to do any of those ones.
Why don't you want to do a weighted ball program?
Well, you're not building power from the ground up. You're not getting into your power at all. You're teaching the end of the kinetic chain. You're increasing your chance of injury if you're not using the kinetic chain properly. There's like
it is perfect. It's laughable.
You can go into all of it. So
why not long toss? Same thing.
Yeah, same thing. You're changing your kinetics. It's not similar to the pitching motion. You're increasing the torque on your arm, so increasing your chance of injury for maybe 2 to 3 miles per hour. The benefit isn't worth the reward.
Well, what about all the other approaches that say no weight training? Why would you take an approach that says no weight training? We'll just teach it technically?
No, because you need the weight training to increase your power output, to build size, to become bigger, faster, stronger, to start learning how to use the ground reaction forces.
Make you more mobile, right?
Yeah, exactly. So if you're just taking that away, you're taking everything away from a power athlete, which is what baseball is. A power sport. We want to see guys hit home runs. We want to see guys throw 100. It's a power sport. It's laughable that we're not training people to be power athletes.
Yeah, there you go, people. There's nothing left. We don't know. Once you take away what we're doing here, we don't really see it. We don't see it, right? Mm-hmm. We don't see it. So if you see it, we're wrong, please tell us we're wrong. Tell us all the wonderful things we're missing out on or that we didn't see when we tried it. We'd love to hear it. All right, if you have a question, go to Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, @TopVelocity, #PigeonTips. Ask your question, we answer on the show. Check out our 3X Velocity camps coming up. We'll see you at the ABCA convention in Nashville. Come on out there. Come to the King of the Hill booth. I'll give you something really cool. Okay? See you on the next show.
Yeah.